You scanned a few old photos, you recorded your story, maybe you even edited a beautiful video. Now for a real question. If something happened to you tomorrow, would anyone know where to find that story? A story is not preserved just because it's been recorded. It's preserved when someone can actually find it, see it, hear it. For the time being, your memories might be living on your phone, up in the cloud that your phone uses, perhaps copied to a single hard drive and then buried inside some computer folders that only you know about. Or they're stored in an internet cloud service your family's never heard of and therefore would never open. Now, that's not legacy, that's just digital clutter. You absolutely lose your story if you don't record it, whether it's on paper or in video, but you also lose it when no one can find it. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to go about storing it, backing it up, and then sharing it. I have some options for each. Let's make sure your story doesn't disappear. Now, what I'm about to say next is not really meant to scare you. I'm saying it because I've lived through the other side of it. I've gone through old photo albums, mine, my mother's, and I've handled slides that someone forgot to label or the label can't be read anymore. I've even opened up digital folders where even I wasn't sure what was going to be inside. And I realized something. Recording your story is just step one. But organizing it, protecting it, sharing it, that's when it turns into legacy. So let me show you what I do. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, just a simple system that works. I think about it in three parts. First, where it lives. Second, how it's protected. And third, how my family can actually find it. Structure creates clarity. Let's start with where it lives. Every story, every scanned photo, every finished video needs to go into one master folder. For photos, everything should be organized by year, and inside each year, organized by month, and inside each month, organized by day, or maybe by the event. I use simple file names, year, month, day, and then a description, for instance, and not always a description, but often. For instance, 2024-1015, Mom's Colorado Stories, MP4. Nothing clever, just clear. Because here's the truth. If it takes effort to understand your system, your family can't use it. So that's where your photos and videos and the stories they tell live. Now let's talk about how to protect them, because hard drives fail, and this is not an if, this is when the hard drive fails. I have a simple rule. All the important parts of my story, and this should be the same for your story, exist in at least two physical places. One copy is that working drive that you copy to. Shouldn't be your Windows drive, it should be a different drive. And the second copy lives on a separate external drive. Now, they're not the same drive. That's important. They're not connected all the time. Because if one fails, and eventually one will, you won't be able to rebuild the years of work from memory because you don't have any of the artifacts, none of the videos. Instead, you just replace the drive, copy from your backup. Now, I also use the internet cloud. And in fact, I use 3 different cloud services. But none of them are my primary backup. They are just redundancy to the other 2 copies. Now, cloud storage is convenient. There's no doubt about that. It protects you if something happens to your house, fire, storm, whatever life throws at you. But it should not be the only place your memories live. First, because you don't control it. Second, it costs money. The more you store, the more you pay. And over time, that adds up. So for me, the system is simple. 2 physical copies that I control and a copy that's in the ether space up there on the internet in that cloud for offsite protection, but not primary. That's it. Because the goal isn't to become a technology expert. The goal is to make sure your story survives you. So now your story is organized, it's backed up, it's protected, but there's one more question. How will your family actually find it? I have 4 suggestions for you. Here's option 1. Instead of deciding to do some fancy system, and you could just not share it right away, and that's fine. But if you do that, you're going to need to write down your system. You're going to need to write down the login for your computer, write down where the master folder is, write down what the backup drive is called, write down how it's organized, and put that in a document wherever you keep important things that your children should know about. Maybe that's a fireproof safe or lockbox in your home office. Maybe it's with your will or other estate documents. After all, if they don't know where it is, it doesn't exist. Option 2, you could start sharing now, right away. If your stories are stored in the cloud, like if you're using your phone to record, you could send a link as soon as you finish them. If they're short enough, you could even attach them to an email or send them in a text message. And I've done that. Sometimes the simplest sharing is the most meaningful. So here's option 3. If you're using cloud storage, and if you're using a phone, you probably are, you also need to think about access. Someone needs to know what the cloud accounts are that you use or that you're using for the stories. And they need to know how to get into them when the time comes. So that's going to mean documenting your accounts and the passwords and storing that information securely, again, putting it wherever you keep your most important documents. And there's a 4th option, and it's the one I use. I decided to post my stories for the kids on YouTube. Now, the stories are not public. Videos are unlisted, so you have to have a link to be able to view them. And then you just share them. I share those links with my family as soon as I get them posted. And then they can watch them on any device, anytime. Now, I chose YouTube for 3 simple reasons. 1, it's easy to access. There's no special software, no special login for them. 2nd, you can stream it beautifully on phones, tablets, computers, even on your TV. And 3rd, it removes the question of where is it stored. They don't have to find a hard drive. They don't have to understand your folder system. They don't have to have your logins. They just click a link. At the end of the day, this, after all, is not about storage. It's not about the hard drives, and it's not about what cloud service you use. It's about making it easy for the people that you love to hear your voice again someday. Remember, your story isn't preserved when it's recorded. It's preserved when it can be found and heard. Have you already started organizing your story? Or have you already started sharing it? Maybe you're just beginning to think about it. And how do you plan to share it? Hard drive, cloud, something else? Are you going to write it down? I'd really like to hear what you're doing, because several of you said you're thinking about doing this. So in the comments below, tell me what your plans are and tell me how it's going. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.